It's me, your little boy, Kid Samson. This is something that I want to address to every of my followers on TikTok, Facebook, even on YouTube. Look at it. Never you come to the point of becoming so jealous of someone progress. This may sound funny, but this is why a lot of us are not progressing in life. It may sound somehow. Listen, if you don't celebrate the progress of others, you will never, and it will not be easy for people to see something that they will celebrate in your life. This is not a cause. We have a lot of people who have this mentality or these attitudes that when someone is progressing, when they have neighbors or when they have friends who are progressing, God is blessing them. That means God is not blessing them themselves. And some people will hate you because God is blessing you, God is announcing you, God is elevating you. The truth is that never you get to the point of creating setback or creating a blockage that will block your blessings. Because whenever you have these attitudes of envying others, jealousing the progress of others, you are creating mist in which you block your own blessing even without knowing. Because how can you be blessed when you hate the success of others? How can you be favored when you hate those who God are favoring? How can you elevate, succeed, excel when you are not ready to see other people progressing? It's impossible. This is what happened to Haman. Haman was blessed, well known, successful, but he was not willing or hoping or expecting to see the Jews receive favor or being favored. He was not willing or ready to hear good news from the Jews. He was ready to terminate anything. That is why he made that comment in the book of Esther. He said, who else will be favored? So when you have these attitudes that nobody will do what will be blessed like you, you don't want other people around you to succeed, it will be dangerous. Yes, trust me, it will be dangerous. So if you have these attitudes, this anger, God is blessing your neighbor, and you think, you deserve it all. They ought not to be blessed. They ought not to be favored. Their business is growing. Without you knowing that when God is blessing your neighbor, that means the spirit of blessing is already in your neighborhood. So you need to celebrate that spirit, because whatsoever you celebrate, we end up celebrating you. Hey God. So when God is blessing your brother, your sisters, your uncle, the next thing you ought not to do is to jealous them. What you ought not to try is creating that envy, because that spirit may intentionally pass you by. Trust me. This is why we have a lot of people like the brothers of Joseph. When they knew or when they discovered that there is a decree or there is a purpose or a dream that God have already mandated for David, Joseph, they start to envy him. And people will not tell you why hunger appeared in Israel in those days. Not because there was no food in the time of David, because when Joseph was with his brother, they never lacked nothing. Because when that spirit of authenticness, when the spirit of God that favored men leave you, things become difficult. So this is why you should not come to the point of envying people who are ahead of you. Because you have no idea the sacrifice they have paid that you have not yet discovered. Because you can only know, or you can only identify, or you can only notice those stuff that they tell you, but you have no idea the sacrifice that they have paid that make God or that cause God to bless them. And whenever God is blessing someone and you are celebrating their blessing, God will spread his ego. God will spread the blessing. Look at it. The Bible makes us to understand that there was a man called what Jabez. This man was born sorrow. This man was born, agony, in pain. But he realized one thing. He said, I'm not going to be happy because of my situation. I'm not going to, blame my brothers, blame my siblings, blame my family because of the fact that nothing have worked for them. Because for him to be born in sorrow, that means that pain have been existing. Meaning that he did not blame anyone for his inability or for him to be in that place, but he take responsibility. He said, Lord, I want you to change my condition. That is where change is. So many of us, sometimes when we have some friends, when we have some relatives, and nothing is working for all of us, nobody is progressing, and some of us will feel good. But the moment God decides to bless someone, you see that some people will start to create enemy. Some people will start to go too far. Some people will even try it as much as they can because of jealousy to make sure they destroy that person that God is trying to bring up, instead of them to celebrate him. Because the more you celebrate those who have, the more God will open also door for you. Look at it. The Bible says God take what King Saul from palace and put what he take it out and put David. Why? Because of jealousy. So never you come to the point where you start to envy those whom God is blessing, because whether you envy them or you are jealous of them, that will not cost God nothing. That will not destroy anything that God is giving to them. Rather, you will end up destroying yourself. Because trust me, Saul will have become a king if not because of jealousy. God will have never taken King Saul away from the throne if not because of jealousy. So you need to understand that jealousy is very, very dangerous. It's very, very evil, and it's very, very bad for you to jealous whom God is blessing. So be careful with the attitudes of, I don't want them to do better than me. Be careful with the attitudes of, nobody will ever do better than me. Be careful with the attitudes of, I don't want to see no one grow above me. Be careful with the attitudes of, how do you come? How come you are able to do what we can't do? Be careful with these attitudes. With these attitudes of, it is not in my lifetime will I see you succeed better than me. Be careful with these attitudes of, not in my lifetime will I see you stay in this position. Because that is what jealousy creates. You have a lot of people around you choosing one who have already knocked their chairs that they won't be happy to see you grow, excel, or be happy to see you happy. So be careful when you start to have this mentality, because a lot of people have destroyed and blocked their blessings because they don't want to see other people progress. Because how can you expect to be progressing, succeeding, elevating when you are not celebrating those who God have already poured the anointing of celebrating, who God have already given the anointing to do or to do exploit? Because you can only be celebrated, or you can only be celebrated when you are celebrating others. You can only end up, being jubilate or jubilating when you are jubilating others. You can only smile when you join others to smile. You can only do well when you see other people progress as a means in which God is about to bless you. You also say, so be careful. Be careful, because all that are greater are not gold. Remain blessed. May God bless you.